Have you ever wondered why your life feels stuck even when you are trying so hard? Why your mind keeps dragging you backward into regrets or throwing you forward into fears? Why you feel exhausted even when you haven't done anything? If your life feels heavy, if you can't stay in the present moment, then this story will feel painfully familiar. Because this is not just Marco's story. It's the story of anyone who loses today because they are trapped in yesterday and frightened by tomorrow. I want you to listen till the end, because somewhere inside this story, you may see your own reflection. Maybe you're living your life on autopilot. Maybe your thoughts are stealing your peace. Maybe you're here, but you're not really here. Let's begin. Marco's mind betrayed him again. It happened in the middle of a busy afternoon, inside the small cafe where he worked. He carried a tray of steaming teacups toward a table, but his mind drifted far away. Back to an argument he had yesterday, then forward to a fear about tomorrow. His feet moved, but his mind was nowhere in the room. The tray tilted. The cups crashed to the floor. Hot tea splashed everywhere. People gasped. Chairs scraped. And suddenly, every eye in the cafe was staring at him. Marco froze. His hands shook. His breath tightened. The cafe owner ran toward him, shouting, "Marco, what is wrong with you? You weren't even looking!" Marco tried to speak, but his mind was spinning too fast to form words. He whispered to himself, "I wasn't here. Again!" He cleaned the mess with trembling hands, while customers watched with confusion, annoyance, pity. But the worst part wasn't the spill. It was the disappointment on his boss's face. That expression stayed burned in his mind long after the tea stains were wiped away. That evening, Marco walked home alone through the quiet village streets. His clothes smelled of tea. His chest felt tight. His thoughts attacked him from every direction. What if I lose my job? Why can't I control my own mind? Why am I always somewhere else? He sat on the edge of his bed, buried his head in his hands, and whispered, "I'm tired. I'm so tired." That night he didn't sleep. Not even for a minute. Every time he closed his eyes, his mind dragged him backward or pushed him forward. Never here, never now, never in the present moment. The next morning, his elderly neighbor noticed his pale face. She said gently, "If your mind is hurting you, there is someone who can help." Marco lifted his head. "Who?" "An old man in the mountains," she said. "He used to be a great psychologist. Now he helps people who have lost themselves." A small spark of hope flickered inside Marco. The next day, he packed a small bag and started climbing the mountain trail. He walked through forests where sunlight slipped gently between the leaves. He crossed quiet streams that reflected the sky like little mirrors. He climbed steep paths where the wind whispered through the branches. But the noise inside his mind followed him like restless footsteps. After hours of walking, he reached a small house surrounded by tall cedar trees. Wind chimes hung under the roof, singing softly with each passing breeze. On the porch sat an old man with calm eyes and a stillness that felt almost unreal. Marco approached slowly. "Sir," he said, voice trembling, "my mind never stops. I made a mistake yesterday. I can't focus. I can't sleep. I can't breathe peacefully. Please, help me." The old man nodded. "Sit." Marco sat beside him. The old man asked, "Tell me, where does your mind like to travel?" Marco swallowed hard. "Back to my mistakes. Forward to my fears. Anywhere except this moment." The old man stood up quietly and walked inside the house. He returned carrying a wooden bowl filled with smooth river stones. He handed it to Marco. "Come." They walked to a narrow trail behind the house. The old man pointed to a tall cedar tree far down the path. "Walk to that tree and come back," he said. "But if even one stone falls, you must start again." Marco tightened his grip. The bowl was heavy. The trail was uneven. The wind made the leaves dance wildly. He took his first step. His mind tried to wander backward, to the cafe, to the spill, to the embarrassment. But he couldn't afford to think about anything except the stones. So he focused. Only on the bowl. Only on the weight. Only on this step. He didn't notice the bird flying overhead. He didn't hear the thunder in the distance. He didn't think about yesterday or tomorrow. He just walked, step by step. When he reached the cedar tree, he exhaled. Not a single stone had fallen. He returned to the old man. "I did it," the old man smiled. "Tell me, Marco, did you see the deer that passed behind you?" "No." "Did you hear the wind shaking the branches?" "No." "What were you thinking?" Marco stared at the bowl. "Nothing, except this moment." The old man nodded. "That," he said softly, "is peace." He touched Marco's shoulder gently. "Your mind is not loud because it is broken. It is loud because it has nowhere to land. Give it the present moment, and it will quiet itself." Then he added, "A wandering mind is not a problem. A mind stuck in yesterday and tomorrow is." Tears filled Marco's eyes. But they were not tears of fear. They were tears of understanding. He stayed with the old man until the sun dipped behind the mountains. Then he began the journey home. But this time, everything felt different. He noticed the sound of the wind. He noticed the warmth of the sunset. He noticed the weight of his breath. He noticed himself. For the first time in years, he was present. And in that presence, he found peace. How many moments of your life are you losing because your mind is everywhere except here? How many days slip away while you relive yesterday or fear tomorrow? How many opportunities have passed you, not because you weren't capable, but because you weren't present? Most people are not tired because of work. They are tired because their mind is constantly fighting battles that don't exist anymore. Peace is not something you search for outside. Peace is something you stop running away from inside. Your life is happening right now, not in your memories, not in your fears, not in your imagination. Right here, right now, this moment. If Marco found peace by returning to the present, so can you. Your mind deserves a place to land. Give it this moment. Just one breath, just one step, just one here, and your life will start to feel lighter. Before you leave, answer this honestly. Where is your mind right now? What part of your life are you missing because you're not really here? If you have overcome, how did you manage it? Write your thoughts in the comments. Your words may help someone else find clarity. If this story brought you value, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more stories that quiet the mind and strengthen the heart. And share this with someone who deserves a little peace today.